Hi, loves. So I just completed a new guided meditation series. They are 3 meditations called the Love Warrior Restorative Meditation Practices. And they are a fusion of deep feminine sensibilities and techniques for regulating and reorienting the nervous system specifically. So they are intended to bring you out of fight, flight, freeze, to kind of help you take refuge in the moment, gather resource, and bring your nervous system, bring your state of being to a place of restoration, resource, and healing rather than a place of fracture and scattered dispersion. So this is going to be a short video where we're going to actually do a little bit of what the meditations work with. So I want to teach you this hold. So in the meditation, there's 3 meditations in the series. One is called Safe Home. One is called the Love Warrior's Courage. It's a fortifying practice for courage in the heart. And then the third practice is called Deep Heart Cup Full of Nectar. And that's a very deeply restorative practice for the heart and the womb to reckon with and restore depletions that are kind of building up to the point of desperation and exhaustion. We're going to work with right now a bit from the Safe Home practice. And Safe Home is very much about finding refuge in the moment, coming into an embrace of yourself, and actually starting to re-entrain your fundamental state of being from one of stress and hypervigilance and overwhelm to one of resourced refuge in the heart. For real, not as a concept, as an experience. So do this with me, if you will. And this is a hold, and you can do this whether or not you do the meditations. Take your right hand and bring it underneath of your left armpit and kind of hold here underneath and at the top of your rib cage under your left. And then bring your right hand across and find a gentle hold here up on the top of your shoulder, but on the outside. So this is a hold specific to regulating the nervous system. Take a breath here. Feel the contact your hands have with your body. Feel yourself inside of this embrace, your own energy circulating back into yourself, cocooning, settling, consolidating. And I'll invite you just to rest here for a couple of minutes, and I will tell you this simple process that I use for helping my nervous system, helping myself when I feel activated. If I feel like there's a trauma activated in me, or I'm in a clear stress state and need to reorient to well-being. So the first step is to give it its true name. So there is great power in the true name of anything. So when you are in a state of overwhelm, of fight, flight, freeze, hypervigilance, disorientation, confusion, what can help you enter into a relationship of power with it is to just give it its true name. Just name it. I feel terrified. I am feeling exactly the way I felt 5 years ago when I found out he had been unfaithful to me. I'm feeling how I felt when this or that happened, and my life all of a sudden went all wrong. I'm feeling frozen, and feeling frozen, feeling panicked and needing to run, or feeling like angry and defensive and rigid, fight, flight, freeze. Those are all great states to give a true name to. So give it its true name so that you can come into relationship with it with the state that's in you. And therefore, then, move into a place of power in relationship to it. So we're step by step coming out of absorption and drowning in these impacts, these experiences that overwhelm the nervous system, that come into remembrance or just happen in the moment, right? So give it its true name. Coming into an embrace is the second step. 1, true name, name it. 2, embrace yourself in it. This is a wonderful hold for that. Maybe you can feel it already settling you. Embrace yourself. Love is here. I'm with you. Right? You're companioning yourself. Letting it be, but giving it holding, giving it containment, support. It's going to help you come into your present moment. And it's in your present moment that you will find an anchor. You can find what you need, right? You can come out of fixation on the past or worry about the future to really just come here where you can either rest into the moment or sort out what you need and take the right actions for yourself, make the right choices. The third step then is to surrender and to support. So you've given it its true name, you've held yourself, you've come into an embrace of yourself, anchoring, giving yourself foundation, building your trust in your own capacity to love what you are, to be here. And then surrendering into support means having something trustworthy that you can surrender into, right? Navigating your inner terrain, navigating big emotions, navigating big forces moving through you, whether you love them or they terrify you or you hate them, you don't want them, you're going to have that. Big forces move through us. So what the body needs, what your being needs, in order to allow these things to move, change, to have their way with us, and then come to resolution, is she needs to be able to surrender, to soften. However, your body, your being is too wise to surrender unless she has something trustworthy to surrender into. So I don't know what all might be that for you. I've created the meditations to fulfill that need as part of the third step for myself and for whoever needs them. So why a guided meditation is such a wonderful companion for re-entraining, for shifting your state of being, is that it is something you can surrender into. The voice of whoever is guiding you is holding you. It's anchoring you. So for instance, in Safe Home, the guidance, the movement is to meet yourself where you are, come into embrace, and then gradually come into a resourced, grace-filled, supported state in the present moment, right? Let's take a breath here with me. This last step of surrender and to support is an acknowledgement of our humanity, and it's acknowledgement of how much we need each other and how much triumph there is when we fortify each other, right? And that it is not, when we move from naming the thing to embracing ourselves, to surrendering and opening to support that we can trust, then we are kind of releasing ourselves from the prison of isolation and from the curse of self-sufficiency, the lie of it. We recognize their sacred need, and we surrender into support, whether it's through guided practices like the ones that I'm offering you that I've just created, whether it's through friends, therapy, whatever. What's true is that we often face things that feel and maybe are much bigger than what we ourselves have alone. And it's not just, it's our kindred, it's our brothers and sisters, it's people who are also walking beside us, companioning us. It is also the much bigger forces that are holding us, forces of grace, forces of courage and fortification that come up behind our hearts and give us strength when we need it, when we can't find it inside. Deep sources of nourishment that rush in, that infuse, that just wait for us to turn toward them in a receptive way and drink them in, so that we aren't depleted and we aren't desperate, and we don't just dry up on this path that we walk through life. So I am happy to companion you in any way through these videos, through my words, through my work. I welcome you to explore the meditations I just created. I'm really excited about the fusion of deep feminine sensibilities and nervous system regulation. It's been something I've been exploring on my own, and it feels extremely relevant to supporting this movement from rigid, frozen fight or flight that too many of us reside in, into a state of resourced well-being. That doesn't mean perfection. It just means resourced availability to our moment, to all the more that we are than we can imagine we are, and to all the more that there is that's coming up behind us, around us, and with us as we all face these amazing, difficult, beautiful times. Right? We're love artists. We're love warriors. And love warriors, love artists, must return again and again to the deep well to drink, to restore, so that they can, so that we can rise up again and again and again with the endurance and the resilience that's being asked in these times. So I send you all my love. I hope this hold is something that you explore and just experiment with. Let it, feel it, let it help you. If nothing else you take from this video, I love this hold. All my love to you, love warriors, love artists. I'll put the link to the meditations below. And until next time, blessed be.